What's up, y'all? Bad Ideas Production, and today we're gonna talk about one of the most cathartic scenes I've ever seen in my life, and it's in the show Daredevil, the Netflix show, not to be confused with the Ben Affleck movie of the same name. It premiered in 2015, running 3 seasons until ending in 2018. In my opinion, it's the best work that Marvel has ever released, and it cemented itself to me with that sentiment because of one scene, and that is the capture of Wilson Fisk, aka Kingpin, in the season 3 ending. So let's break it down. To get to this point, actually, all you need to know is that Matthew Murdock is a lawyer by day and a masked vigilante by night, whose arch nemesis is Wilson Fisk. In season 1, we get a deep look at Wilson Fisk's character and childhood, even dedicating a whole episode to him. He is, if I remember correctly, one of the first villains that were ever written with so much depth and empathy behind their motivations. You hate him, but you understand why he's doing what he's doing. He believes that he is doing the right thing, but does them in the wrong manner, as he has a warped view of justice. Both Matthew and Wilson are two sides of the same coin. They both want to save the city that they call home, but in two very different ways. Wilson is portrayed perfectly by Vincent D'Onofrio and is played with this gentle but suppressed anger to him that feels that he could explode at any given moment, and anybody in the room with him is always in danger. As season 1 goes, it leads to his eventual capture of Wilson as Daredevil finally gets his suit and becomes Daredevil as we know and love him. Wilson for now has been caged. But to me, that season's capture of him was super satisfying and worth the wait. But it felt a bit rushed in my opinion. It lacked a certain je ne sais quoi that I couldn't put my finger on it. Yet the season as a whole was amazing, and it was more of a journey to get there than the destination that I actually enjoyed. Now, season 2 isn't too important to season 3, as all you need to know is that Daredevil has beaten the Punisher and fell in love with Elektra, who subsequently dies at the end of season 2. And then Daredevil has revealed himself to Karen, his other love interest. And then we get a spin off show called The Defenders. And Elektra has essentially become this uber zombie kind of version of herself. And then at the end of that show, a building is dropped on her and Daredevil, where she inexplicably survives. That's where season 3 picks up, and Matt has regressed in his faith as a Catholic man and does not want to be Daredevil no more. He is literally battered and beaten and must recuperate, but seems to have a death wish in the first couple episodes. We follow this arc of forgiveness and healing, him questioning this purpose on Earth in a religious manner, of course. There's lots to unpack here, but all roads lead to the conflict between him and Wilson, as Wilson has weaseled his way into pseudo freedom by using an FBI agent to give him all the materials that he needs. Alongside the use of the FBI agent Nassim, he also has another FBI agent who is more mentally unstable, named Agent Poindexter, who is better known as Bullseye. As his name says, he does not miss, and this leads to amazing fight scenes in season 3 between him and Matt Murdock. And speaking of which, Matt has been struggling with his inner demons all season as he wants to kill the Kingpin and put him down, believing that he doesn't deserve to live, and keeping him alive will get more people killed. As the season goes, Wilson has successfully used the FBI and corrupted a lot of them inside into being his servants, as well as having a supremely skilled hitman in Bullseye dressed as Daredevil, tarnishing his name even more. He really wants to systematically destroy Daredevil and ruin his reputation with Hell's Kitchen. It all looks like it's going according to plan for Wilson to become the Kingpin once again, like in season 1, where he had all this power. Things are going so well, in fact, for Wilson that he even proposes to his wife and they have a wedding. But at this point, at the end of the season, Bullseye wants to kill Wilson because he found out that the woman that he loved, she didn't love him back because he was stalking her, Wilson killed her. And Daredevil pointed that out to Bullseye. Now, Bullseye is going to interrupt the wedding, and Daredevil has to go and stop that and stop Bullseye from killing Wilson and his wife. But now, because of Foggy and Karen, they have evidence that will land Wilson in prison and expose him of his crimes. All this comes together and leads to a confrontation that is the best scene in the whole show, where Wilson has broken Bullseye's back and incapacitated him. Just as he's about to leave, Daredevil stops him and starts whooping Wilson's ass. Wilson gets some licks in, of course, but is no match for determined and angry Matt. He just lets his punches loose, not holding anything back, almost pushing himself to the edge where he's about to kill Wilson and about to crack his neck, but ultimately stopping himself with what can only be summed up with a primal scream. A scream that has been a theme throughout the show, as Wilson explains it to Bullseye early in the show, saying that there's this rage that cannot stay buried within, and only a primal scream is the only satisfying release. For Matt, it's much more than rage. It's this release that of everything the character's been through and the completion of his character arc as he has finally been able to forgive himself and not give in to killing Wilson. He let his faith win. But as well with the scream, Matthew lets all this rage and pent up anger that harbors all the guilt he has hidden within himself. He has this chip on his shoulder, blaming himself for all those deaths caused by Wilson. He wants to kill Wilson, but won't. Wilson wants to die knowing that if Matthew is the one to kill him, then he's won. He's damned Matt to hell. Wilson states that no prison can hold him, and the only way to stop him is for Matt to kill him. Matthew responds with the best and satisfying speech.
But you don't get to destroy who I am. This city rejected you. It beat you.
You don't get to destroy who I am. This city rejected you, it beat you. Then the speech ends, culminating with three words:
I beat you.
I beat you. This gives me chills. It was so gratifying to watch Wilson finally get what he deserved, especially after being such a nuisance and a horrible person throughout the whole season. It was amazing. I love this show, and I'm happy that we are getting a sort of revitalization of it, which I did enjoy in Daredevil Born Again. And it doesn't really compare to Netflix adaptation. I just love that I could have more of Daredevil. So yeah, Bad Ideas Production. Like and subscribe.